Hi, Shelly. Let's take a look at your set of essays about fathers staying home and mothers working. Let's see what you wrote here. It is quite popular that more fathers are inclined to look after their children at home, contributing to those mothers who prefer to work. This essay will discuss what actually leads to this by giving some examples, as well as explain how it comes with some benefits. All right, I like the second sentence. I thought was nice. I didn't really like the first one very much because some of the language you used was awkward. Look at the first part. It is quite popular that more fathers are inclined to look after their children. So this didn't really make sense. It is quite popular. So I would get rid of that. And why don't we just say nowadays more fathers are inclined to look after their children at work, while mothers prefer to work. So that would have been a good rephrasing of this task, and it would have made sense. But the way you have it written, there's a lot of extra words that there are a lot of extra words that just don't really add meaning. They just make it confusing. Okay. Now here, I don't know why you're writing personally. So let's ignore it for a second. Due to the economic development in both developed and developing countries, prosperous financial provides people with considerable benefits. Okay, so get rid of personally for sure. What does this mean, prosperous financial? I don't understand that. So there's a problem with your vocabulary. Um, and because of those two words here, prosperous financial, we don't know what you're talking about, and it creates incoherence. So you can see how a vocabulary issue leads to a lack of understanding. People with skillful knowledge of financial products from all walks of life can achieve substantial fortune by investing in stocks, fund products, and so on. All right, this sentence, I don't see how it's relevant. And I don't like this skillful knowledge. That doesn't really feel like an appropriate collocation here. Therefore, it is pretty easy for knowledgeable people to gain without the in a decent income to achieve family responsibilities. All right, I still don't understand why you're talking about this. Actually, most fathers enjoy staying with family rather than work in the boring office. All right, again, what's the link to these ideas about investing in stocks and then fathers staying at home? I don't understand. According to research from the United Nations, you mean United Nations, 60% of businessmen have abilities to accomplish financial independence, and 50% of these financial, financially independent people tend to be at home taking care of children rather than continue their work in a boring office. Okay, and then here you wrote boring office again, so try not to be so repetitive. All right, so this for me had a number of problems. Um, this is supposed to be explaining why mothers, basically roles within the family have switched. Mothers are going out to work. They're not staying home with their children. Instead, fathers are abandoning work and they are staying home with children. So we're seeing a reversal of roles. Why is this happening? So I really didn't understand this paragraph, I'm afraid, Shelly. Like all of this stuff about investing in stocks, like, and hey, anyone can do it. I just don't understand how this is related to women going out to work and men staying home. So, any examiner looking at this is going to say that a lot of the information here is tangential or it's just very kind of peripherally related to the task. And so, this is definitely going to cost you in terms of task achievement. What you were supposed to talk about here is what kind of societal changes have made it possible for women to leave the house and instead they're getting jobs. And not only are they getting jobs, but the kinds of jobs they're getting make it possible or even necessary for the men to say, hey, you know what? You're working and that's great. So I'm going to stay home and raise the kids while you work. So, what has led to this shift in our responsibilities? And this is what you did not talk about at all. All right, so let's go on. The presence of a father at home benefits the family a lot. Firstly, the companion of a father, you don't mean the companion, you mean the company of a father, is beneficial to children's character building because a father is more aggressive than a mother. And usually, a father can successfully motivate children by doing some creative games during their family activities. Careful with some of this language. Don't say a father is more aggressive. Say because sometimes fathers can be more aggressive. Okay, you have to hedge. You can't be so absolute. And not only that, but why would we want the influence of somebody who is aggressive? Aggressive often has a negative meaning in English. So why are you telling this to us as a positive? I don't understand. Okay? All right. So, and this was fine though. Usually a father can, but you needed to do that here as well. So I didn't understand this. A convey, I don't understand that. Maybe you mean a study, perhaps, from United States scientific institutes shows that children with more, not companions, that's a wrong word, with more maybe time, more companionship, maybe, from fathers are more creative, resourceful, and determined when experiencing, you need a different form of this here, complicated. I don't know what you mean by practices. Maybe you mean activities. I'm not sure. Comparing with children with more, maybe time spent with mothers. Furthermore, mothers can have more opportunities to pursue their dreams, experiencing the work well being and lives well being. I don't understand this. I think you mean experiencing a work life balance. That's an appropriate expression, but this is not. In fact, research from the UN says that 90% of housewives desire to return to work. Okay, so there are a lot of grammatical problems here, and some, grammar stuff, grammar and vocabulary as well. Okay, so your conclusion. In conclusion, from the above arguments and examples, I would like to state the fact that the prosperity of economic development allows more fathers who have abilities to be at home. The prosperity of economic development allows more fathers who have abilities to be at home with a decent income and really has, okay, and this really has a lot of benefits to the family. Okay. So, all right. So basically what you did is you talked about why fathers can stay home, but you didn't really, did you really talk about why mothers have left this role and have gone to work? Not entirely. No. So I really don't feel like you covered a lot of the issues you should have. I felt that some of the vocabulary was incorrect. And I also thought that some of the grammar had problems. So I think in those three areas, there were some issues. And I want to see definitely more of your essays. I want you to work on some of these issues to overcome them and to start writing stronger essays. Okay. Why don't we look at your letter? This is a formal letter. Fine. Let's see what you said here. All right, let's look at your task one now about the broken items from your recent move. Let's see. Dear Sir, Madam, last Friday I ordered a household service. What does that mean, a household service? In your company. I really want to change this. Why don't we do something else? Last Friday, I I used your company, okay, for my for the transport of my household goods, which included moving a bed, a sofa, some kitchenettes. I don't understand that. I think you mean a kitchenette and some ceramics. The delivery van transferred all these items from this should be capitalized, this should be capitalized, and this should be capitalized. I don't know what a kitchenette is. I know a kitchenette to mean like one item, but I don't know why you're referring. I'm not really sure why you're using it in the plural. So I packed all kitchenettes. I'm assuming you mean something else, but I don't know what. In 3 containers, as well as all I packed all something in 3 containers. Oops. And all ceramics were packaged into 2 containers. However, unfortunately, after I unpacked all containers, I found that there were 6 plates which were broken during the move. I bought these plates from France. I really love these beautiful plates with elegant shapes. I have enclosed a receipt of $100 US. I also recognize that 5 ceramics were damaged during the delivery. I bought these delicate ceramics with vivid folk tales in China. I also enclosed a receipt of ceramics for $118 US. All right, so there are some problems with this that involve both grammar and cohesion. So let's talk about this. This was fine. I found that there were 6 plates which were broken during the move. Fine. So I bought these plates from France and have enclosed uh, uh, the receipt of purchase in the amount of $100 US. I didn't really care for this. I thought it was awkward and I thought it was irrelevant and it just didn't really fit. Okay? And then this is the wrong vocabulary. Not I recognized. You could say I also noticed that 5 ceramics were damaged during the delivery. For your reference, I have enclosed the receipt of the ceramics. That's fine for $118 US. I repeatedly mentioned to your staff before moving that this, don't use the word stuff. It's very informal. It's very not precise. Okay. So you could have said, I repeatedly mentioned to your staff before moving that these items in the containers were quite fragile. While it seems that they did not listen to me, you have to use did not because it's a formal letter. They still treated these containers violently, leading to the damage, not damages, damages is something else, of my place in ceramics. I doubt your quality and attitude of your service. Your staff have no patience. All right, that's an awkward sentence. That's not what you mean. You mean something else. You could say, I question the quality of your service and believe that your staff has no patience. That's a little harsh, though. You're supposed to, still remain somewhat polite here. Okay? So let's try it again. I question the quality of your service and patience of your staff. That would be good. With regard to this damage, I therefore suggest that I should be refunded, not by 100 plus 118, which is $218 US. Yours sincerely. You don't capitalize that S. Okay. So, Shelly, as you can see, there was quite a bit that I had to change here, grammatically, lexically, and even in terms of, coherence and cohesion. There were some things that we needed to work on. So it's a set that, shows that you're working and you're making progress, but it still needs a lot more work. You're going to get another set of essays from us as a gift to you. So after that, we can talk about what additional packages remain and what you can do to continue working with us. Okay? So go ahead and send us that next set of essays, and I'm looking forward to it. Good luck.